Are we live yet?
I think
Yay! I think so.
I
I
think
think
so. You see us on LinkedIn?
I don't know, but I see that the timer has just started, so I think we are. I think we are. LinkedIn and this time on YouTube. I'm also broadcasting this on my YouTube. How do you feel about that?
I feel fantastic. I'm just trying to make sure because we are back with StreamYard. Thank you for allowing multi-stream and for Chew on this. And we went back to you.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. Well, you
Uh,
see, progress is progress, right? So some apps are faster, some apps are slower. I think we're live. I can see us live.
oh, you can?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fantastic. I trust you. And welcome to our Chew on This, where we talk about human potential versus AI promise. And the fun fact, did you see the banner, Anna? Did you like my banner for the
Uh,
event?
to be
It was
honest,
AI generated. Huh?
I yeah, I mean, I definitely AI generated banners is like the next big thing, and they it's a substitute for Canva, I guess, right? I mean, I know Canva they are using AI extensively right now,
Right. Right.
but it's a substitute for Canva. What I did personally, how I leveraged AI yesterday, that was really helpful because yesterday I made a small announcement about my professional journey. I don't know if you've seen that. I announced a new venture that we decided to launch with my team. It's called Techville, where we are going to provide what we are providing already workforce development training specifically on culture, cross-cultural communication, and power skills for work. So
Amazing.
we have noticed that more and more companies and professionals and leaders have been asking us to train on these particular skills, cross-cultural communication and power skills. So we decided to make it as a standalone product. So I made this announcement. So I wrote an article and posted on my LinkedIn newsletter. And for the banner, I actually used a LinkedIn AI banner generator. They
Oh,
have
I didn't
this.
know it exists.
Woo! Yeah, so you don't have to worry about a third party app right now. You can do it within the LinkedIn itself when you are writing your
Oh,
article, your newsletter. There is an option to add a banner from your computer or to generate one. And to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical about it, but then it actually worked for me. So you can check out my recent article and see the picture there, the graphics there, and I think it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, and it also allows you. So it doesn't work just like ChatGPT. It allows you to modify the text yourself.
oh, that's amazing because that's one of the problems.
That's a game changer. So I was pleasantly surprised because I haven't posted anything on my LinkedIn newsletter in a while. So I was like, wow, this is great. So you see, like you are away from like your daily like
Right.
routine work activity, and then you come back after a few months and you see that the world has changed. The
Yeah.
world has changed with AI. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
and that's one of the topics of the day, right? The pace of change is incredible, right? And even for those of us in tech and those who love using tech and the latest things, it's not easy to keep up. Well, I, for one, liked that I was taller than you on that post that AI generated. It created. I asked to create the images of us from public information. So that's I guess the main thing it grabbed was the color of the hair. um, and but I also I don't know if you guys were paying attention, but it did make a mistake in the actual name of the session. So I guess there is more points for human potential than AI takeover.
Well, yeah, you see, it depends. So, like, my personal opinion is that, of course, there's no way AI is going to substitute humans completely, right? And but again, like if let's say LinkedIn, probably what they did, I think that they use Microsoft picture creation like tool or something. There was a name of it that Microsoft there, but like I don't remember the exact name, but like they use some Microsoft tool for that. But you see, they use some elements of like what ChatGPT, what's let's say raw ChatGPT offers, right? But then
Right.
they added more opportunities, like for example, the
Editing the
possibility to
text.
add text, right? To edit
That's
text and
huge.
add text. Yeah, and that's huge. This is technically what Canva does too, and I think many other graphics like creator tools.
Right.
So yeah, so this it really depends. Like, still, we need this human potential, because as a human being, you have to make a decision, right? You have to go through this decision making journey. What tool I want to use for what, right? Because I have heard this from so many people. A lot of it, to our question, AI taking over versus human potential. There are people who are like, oh no, I don't use ChatGPT because it's stupid. It gives me like wrong prompt. I don't like what it
Right.
generates. Well, yeah, because probably you didn't follow their
Yeah.
journey in the right way. So that's why ChatGPT is your tool. Like, it's not going to be better than you unless you get better, right? So like, I think
Right.
this is the first takeaway. Once you get better as a human being, your I don't know, prompting skills, or the use of AI for you personally gets better. What do you think?
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think one of the limiting factors is people don't understand that you have to interact with AI. And when people say you train your chat on whatever you're doing, so in my work with founders, typically, I talk about teaching one of the chats to be your co-founder of whatever business, and the other one to be your customer persona. If you have multiple personas, ideally you put it into different chats, right? Sort of disaggregating things. You can teach it to be a customer success manager or whatever the roles are that you need to play. It gets smarter and smarter, and you have to ask questions like you would to a person, right? Of course, there are some sort of techniques and things that, for example, I have in my program now around AI. But it blows my mind that even tech founders who are building AI products are not using AI in their own
No
work.
way. No, don't like. Well,
Yes.
I think I know. So the reason why this is happening is because a lot of founders, they feel threatened by the industry, that if they don't leverage AI for their startup, if they don't include that name, AI driven, powered by AI, blah blah blah, they are going to go down, which is true, right? But like, I feel like they don't get it. Like, they don't get the whole idea behind it. It's not just like you add the name AI to the description, to a one liner with describing your company, right? You actually have to leverage it
Believe
for
it.
yeah, to live it. Yeah, like back in the day when I started English for IT, I came up with this slogan. Yeah, don't learn it, live it. And it was like, every time I said it, like, people were like, oh, wow, like, yeah, this is exactly, because nobody was learning, right? Like, you remember your school years, Vlada? Like, you hated the discipline, you hated to be like sitting
Right.
at the desk, like this. Like, people don't like the word learning, but like living it is a whole different,
Right.
strategy. But
Right.
I'm not actually surprised with your
Observation.
with your
Yeah.
observation, with what you just mentioned.
But I wanted to step back, and I don't have a particular answer, but one of the things that is true about most important trends, and AI is, obviously been around for a long time, but when it became sort of in the public eye, and when OpenAI released it, when was it? Now almost 2 years ago, I guess, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
About
20
so.
November
Mhm.
2022. Right. I mean, the whole, that just like the whole world changed that day, right? And just
Out.
um but the crazy thing about big trends, right, is that they don't move nearly as fast as many people think, but once they hit the tipping point, then they move faster than people think. And
Yeah.
I almost feel that we are getting somewhere to that point when some tipping. So the question is, when is this tipping point going to occur, and how fast really it will accelerate from there? And I think a fun question to think about, at least for me, is what will a company look like 3 years from now? If you take a, I don't know, mid-sized business, right? Big part of me is thinking that basically your middle management's gonna be less relevant, and some of the basic things that are done and can be automated would be less relevant. And as a result, there would be fewer people doing them, but there would be, senior managers that are creative, that build connections, that have this sort of long-term broader view, that will be managing alongside some people, will be managing these AI agents. Do you think this is a crazy view of how the companies would look like
To be
as we
honest, I don't think it's crazy at all, because that's kind of what I think is going to happen. Because if we want to talk about, if we want to give some arguments pro AI takeover, right? So it's definitely going to be automation. And like you said, you can automate many things because the world
right,
is already very technologically driven, right? So whatever there is a piece of technology, if your company has a piece of technology, you can do as much automation as you can just like possibly creatively think of, right? And now
right,
creatively think of, what is that? That's a skill. That's this like high level power skill you just mentioned, that typically top level executives or top level managers, founders, leaders, they possess, right? So
right.
higher the level of creative thinking is, the more ideas you can generate. And definitely, like you said, that's the pro human potential point that I'm making here, right? So you will definitely be ahead of the curve, ahead of AI as a human being, if you develop
Have those power skills.
those power skills.
So,
Like,
yeah, no, go ahead.
yeah, like power skills, what I mean, human-centered skills like emotional intelligence, like decision making, creative thinking, all these power skills that are necessary to communicate on a human level better. Because communicating with AI, communicating with the robots, right, with computers, like, you don't really need the skills, right? You need hard skills, and these are power skills that you need to be on a higher level.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if you are now, let's say, a
Middle manager.
middle manager, right? What do you do?
You
Buy your course. First thing you do is buy your course.
well, that's it. But Vlada, what I just like started announcing Techville, my new venture, yesterday. Not just the course, but what I am doing now, and what I want to do more. Exactly, work with leaders and executives and help them become better. And this is done through usually one-on-one leadership executive coaching. And that's like this human interaction when, two people, a coach and a coachee, they interact with each other, and this is how they learn the best and the fastest. I mean, this is not something new. Coaching has been around for about like 25
Right.
years, but like, it's like 20 years, maybe even 10 years. It was in a little bit different way. Now people are more open to it. I think it's going to be even more valuable in the future in different ways, including in an AI way, because I believe that having an AI coach is a great add on to your human coach, right? I personally use AI to coach me, and even to, I don't know, as a therapist. Sometimes it's like you can use it for for many things, like you said, as long as you are willing to give it some time and teach it how to work the best for you. So I
Mhm.
truly believe that if you are a middle manager, you probably need to invest in your personal development as a leader, as a manager, as a human being. And the ways to do that are different, right? Like you said, you can buy a course on Coursera from me, from somebody else, it doesn't matter. This will help. You can read a book, this will help. You can get a coach, this will help. You can go into therapy, this will help. Anything you do will help. From my personal experience, I can say that I've tried many things and everything, and I think they all contributed to who I am right now. And it doesn't mean that I'm ever going to stop building my better self, even though I already feel pretty much good. And but we're evolving, just like AI. 2 years ago it was one way AI, now
Right.
it's a different thing. So that's, human beings have to, like, even though we are creating all these technological advancements, but like, we have to remember about one of the most important advancement that we have to make in our life. It's advance ourselves, right?
Exactly. Now I think is a great point. And Something else is a very fairly existential question that I've been wrestling with, and I'm curious what you think about it.
Chewing on it. Yeah, what way you have been chewing on it?
I've been chewing on it, yeah, and so it's related to this sort of AI takeover, human potential battle. But one of the things that I can't quite put together is, if you look at our society overall, right? There's a lot of data around, people lack sense of belonging, right? In the past, people were, more community, more villages, more things, right? People kind of lived closer. They had sort of more, kind of had more meaning. They also, family structure was stronger, right? People were kind of in groups, and they had their support system, and so in general felt less lonely, right? There is
Yeah.
a big kind of trend on loneliness, and at the same time, when you look at corporations, right, or companies, I think Gallup stat is like 40% of people are not connected, don't feel connected to their team, um
Yeah, they don't
that
say have
they
sense of
work with,
they
right?
just
They
do
don't
the
have sense of
job.
belonging either, right? And so big question to me is, basically, we're taking sort of that from, with a minus sign from both sides, both from personal side and professional side. And for me, it seems like a huge opportunity for companies to create this place of belonging. um
That's a new
huh?
big thing for you, Vlada. Is that a new big thing for you, Vlada?
Maybe, but it just like really puzzles me. Like, why is it not happening? Like, you would think people want it, and yet it's not happening. Why do
Um,
you think?
I feel like okay, so I have a little bit like maybe a negative opinion on this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, based on my experience, unfortunately, people and big corporations and probably top management, unfortunately, they don't see the importance of this human connection in the workplace. And
Mm,
that's a mistake, that's a mistake because of the primary thing that companies, corporations, leaders care about is financial gains, right?
yeah,
Revenue, increasing your revenue, blah blah blah. And it, like, as long as it works, as long as it has been working for years, even
right,
though with some like pitfalls and like things like that, they are fine. People don't like, well, generally by now our nature, we don't like change, right? We are
right.
afraid, we fear it, we fear change, we don't know how to embrace it. That is why I am a firm believer that it is happening because people don't realize the importance of it. But I feel like maybe with all these like changes around AI and advancement in the AI world, people will come to realize that this is the time, this is a crunch time to do it. Because I mean, this, you worked for big corporations, how difficult it is to incorporate change. It's the whole
Right.
like change management thing. And recently I've been hearing these like things that, oh, change management is bullshit, and like and other things, that this is just I don't know, something that can happen naturally. You don't need to invite a third party solution provider and things like that. So I believe that that's the question of soft skills, right? The questions of power skills. We're all driven by hard skills. And this is like, I mean, we used to be driven by hard skill, rightfully so, because we like 30, 50 years ago, we lived in a totally different world. We lived in a world where we needed like really, tech driven minds. Now it is changing. We created this necessary tech. Now we have to go back to a human potential question.
Mhm.
That's what I think. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think in a way, I guess what I'm trying to say is, to me, this dichotomy, or this question, becomes really a critical one to tackle before, there is more AI and more automation in the workforce. Because then, when you will have even fewer interactions, and you really need that connectivity glue and that sense of purpose and meaning, I think that the smart and strategic companies have been investing in that for years, and the second best is they are waking up to it right now.
Well, maybe there is a company that has been secretly working on some, product around this, and now they're gonna just like come out just like OpenAI did 2 years ago, and they're gonna just take
And
over the world, and we are going to have another giant tech giant company, and that is going to kill a whole bunch of startups and like other smaller companies.
maybe, but it does seem to be like a huge opportunity, and I think with AI advancement, especially when there is so much more uncertainty for people in terms of their jobs, right? There is still, the crux of this debate is, will I have a job in, as AI advances, and kind of what my job would be, and the need to be reskilled, and the need to really find
Definitely.
different.
A lot of reskilling, I think, is going to happen. Is definitely a lot of reskilling is going to happen, because at the end of the day, it's just like hard to imagine, because I feel like you and I, we've been like in this tech bubble kind of thing. I mean, in terms of like we are surrounded by people
Right.
tech, it's the same people, but there's so many other people in the world, right? Like, how is life going to change for them with this? Like, is it going to be as a quick, I don't know, as for people like you and I, or is it going to be different? So for example, I realized that before, like when I needed like earlier, like if I needed like some help with something, I would try to find a person who did it, and like I would like want to talk to this
Learn.
person and like
Right.
learn from them. And yesterday I realized that, okay, so I needed to learn like a new skill, like a new thing I've never done, and I'm like, oh, actually, I don't need to talk to anyone. I can just like talk to ChatGPT and educate myself. Yeah, like, and
Right.
educate myself, like learn how I'm supposed to do it, and like best practices. And then to be honest, I can talk to a human being just to compare how more informative, or is the information the human provided is different from the
Right.
information AI provided. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's such an exciting time. And I honestly like something these days, if I'm hiring someone and they tell me that they don't use I
It's
wouldn't
a
hire
no.
them.
It's a no. It's a no. Yeah. Honestly, even like I have a friend who is like really like skeptical about some tech products, and
You're still friends? You're still friends?
we are, yeah, he's my best friend, but like I understand like some people it takes, it's, I mean, they take longer, or well, anyway, like I so like sometimes like I like ask him about something that is AI related, and he's like more of a like a naysayer, and I'm like, yeah, like I wouldn't work with you. I mean, we're friends, this is fine, AI is not going to be in the way,
Right.
but like I would not want to work with someone who I have to persuade that this is the thing. Like
Right.
I'm not saying, that's definitely. I mean, I think we've been talking about this every time we've hosted the live streams, and we've mentioned AI, and it's like, and it's always like 2 years ago there were people who were like, oh, AI is not perfect,
Right.
and now it's the same. But like a lot of with AI and like ChatGPT use. I mean, of course, you use it every day. I use it every day, multiple times a day, just like an assistant, pretty much in anything I
Right.
have to do. And that's amazing because my assistant can assist me on any tasks, right? Like if I need, like I said, I wanted to create a design, like a graphic for. I don't need to talk to a designer. I can talk to the same, to the same window
Right.
technically. But yeah, where was I going? It's just a matter of habit. I feel like people
Exactly.
who do not accept AI as their daily tool, they just don't develop a habit. We are human beings. We drive either on good or bad habits. Unfortunately, bad habits too. So like as long as like as soon as you get AI, into your invite
Your
AI into your
routine.
daily
Yeah.
routine, and struggle a little bit in the first week, then you'll be like, okay, I'm in the habit of using it whenever I need to brainstorm, whenever I'm looking for an answer, whenever I need some support, whenever I want to generate some ideas. So I think it's also the matter of habit. And
Yeah.
I think
100%, because it's really not in your workflow. And as we know, changing habits is one of the toughest things. And that's why so
you
many
don't
startups
say.
also, huh?
You don't say.
Yeah. But that's why so many startups fail, is because if the product requires you to change behavior of the user, that's a really tough thing to do. But I think that's what it takes to be the kind of human that can unlock AI potential, and that will amplify 1 + 1 = 5 in this case. So I think that's wasn't as heated of a debate, because I think we ended up on the
Well,
same
yeah,
side of it.
just for the sake, just like, just to have fun, we could have just had debate when you are against AI and I'm pro AI, or vice versa.
That's
Or
how it
vice
goes.
or vice versa. Let's be fair. We would have to
Right.
do some, like, I don't know, like to figure out who's what. But yeah, it's pretty obvious. To be honest, I don't even want to be part of such debate, because I don't want more and more people to find justifications for why AI is not
Right.
something that they want to leverage on the daily basis for work or life. By the way, right, we leveraged AI for our itinerary when we were traveling in the summer to
Right.
Martha's Vineyard, and it was amazing. I leveraged it for my itinerary in Yellowstone Park when I was hiking back in August, and it was great. Yeah, and I compared my itinerary with my friend's itinerary, who used some old school ways to create the itinerary. And like, it was even better, I think, because I
Yeah.
didn't spend as much time as he did.
Yeah. And I was talking to a friend of mine who says, I desperately need to hire a personal assistant to do
No,
things.
no
And
humans
I
around
was
me on
like,
the
okay,
itinerary.
well, show me the list of the things you need. And I was like, okay, this is AI, this is AI, this is AI, this is AI. I was like, okay, well, maybe you need someone part-time for 3 hours a day doing like these things, but like the 50 things that you wanted it to do, you can just do it in a minute.
Well,
Um,
that's yeah. You see, but like, I think that the change, like, people like you just mentioned, it's not going to be really quick,
right,
because we have so many naysayers.
right.
Naysayers are going to drive this, like, to slow things down, and it's not going to be as rapid and abrupt of a change as it could be, which is fine. Like, let's just let things flow in their natural way.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up, because we've been chewing on this for
Minutes.
for 30 minutes, and I gotta run to my free ad tech challenge that's happening
No AI.
in a
Can
few
AI
minutes
substitute you there, Vlada?
on the free attack challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could. We're talking today about following the money.
No, no,
Uh,
no. I mean, like, could AI
could
substitute?
AI substitute? Oh, uh,
I don't think so. You need
no,
that's
I don't think so, because I'm talking through personal experience, and that part of inspiration and motivation, I think, is what is really hard to substitute. And I think that's really an energy, right?
okay, energy. We should talk about energy the next time, because I've been like thinking about it, and like I've been receiving some feedback. This is definitely we should talk about how to keep up the level of energy being a
Right,
founder or entrepreneur or a top executive. I think this is a good
right.
topic for us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah, and it's
is not going to be doing the challenge, but the human Vlada is going to do the challenge.
do the challenge. And it's a pleasure, as always, Anna, to chew on this with you. So today we talk about AI takeover versus human potential. We'll be back next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, with a debate of some kind, potentially on energy and how to keep that up. I think that's a fun topic. If you guys like it, give us thumbs up. We'll share some thoughtful and practical ways that we've done it for ourselves and seen work. And congrats, Anna, on your new project. That sounds very exciting. And Can't
Yeah,
wait to
thank you.
celebrate
Thank you
your
so
next
much.
milestones.
Thank you so much. Well, good luck with your webinar for the EdTech Founders Challenge. And I will chat with you next week. And if you guys have any questions or would love to chat with us, slide in our DMs and we'll happy to chat with you.
Bye.
Bye for now.